Why am I here? I'm here because the NAC has failed to disburse the PESP, which is the Presidential Employment Stimulus Package, efficiently, expediently, and effectively. There are companies that are on the list that they've released that don't even practice art. So I came here to get answers. What is going on? Why are we seeing these inconsistencies and irregularities? And what really happened to the money?
What really happened to the money?
What really happened to the money? Has it been paid? And was it the actual money that was paid? Or was it some other money that was taken from somewhere else to cover Lili Shazo? Because we don't know, did they really pay this money? Because in November, 350 million was deposited into the account of the National Arts Council, and they only declared 300 million as the amount that they would be paying. And of that 300 million, they still took 15% as commission before they finished doing the job. So now the question is, because they'd already started taking from 50 to 15, how much more was taken before we arrived here on the 1st? Because when we arrived here on the 1st, they'd only paid about 23 million. And over the past 49 days, they are now sitting at 100 and how many, Tammy? 167 million. Yeah. So they're still struggling to even finish paying off the 285 in 5 months. So the question is, where is the money? What happened to the money? Seems that the problem that we are looking at right now is corruption, maladministration, misappropriation of funds, and generally a lack of care from our government and our officials. Because this narrative of saying artists are dying as paupers is incorrect, it's inaccurate. Why would artists die as paupers in a country that gives out a budget of 8 billion a year to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture? What happens to that money? Why is it not reaching the people it's intended for? Then something is going wrong terribly.
Ngisizulu kuthiwa ukubhunga emswanini. Njengoba la sisemswanini ngempela la sivakashela khona sihlaselwe izigebengu engafuni ukuyogqoka ama-overall aphuze ejele onathi imithetho noSipho Sithole. Sithi-ke njengama-artist thina la esila NAC akekho umuntu ongaphezulu kwengalo yomthetho. Wonke umuntu owenze lokho akwenzela ku-industry, lokho akwenzela kulento ye-NAC obuthintekayo, sizombona esevele nje esengaphathi kweinsimbi zile ngale jele. So nje ukuthi-ke abajabule nje kwamanje ukuthi bayitshela ukuthi sidle la akhonto eqhubekayo, siphe kwabo and kumele bahlale be-ready ukuthi ngaze kufrizwe zonke into abanazo bawongena ejele. So-ke abanga-relax, siphezulu kwabo.
I was born with my hand clenched like this, and I believe for other people it was mathematics, maybe to master maths, to be one of those people who can do bridges. Some of people were, their gift was to be able to create a computer, a cell phone. When I had my fist like this as a child coming to this earth, I had a gift to write, to sing. I had a gift to write music. I had a gift to write for theater and for film. Those are the things that I had. And to you all politicians, do what you are doing. Someone said there's a God. We are not cursing you, but your work will curse you. What you are doing to us, you might think it's nothing because we don't have names. You have names. You hold all these big positions. We don't hold anything. But know that there is a God above everything. You don't have to believe it. He is there. And He will judge you.
In South Africa, in one of the gatherings that we had with the portfolio committee, we said to Buti, this matter for us is even beyond politics. You understand, it's about the artists that are struggling throughout the country. Because one of the things that we are seeing 27 years down the line, it's very sad that even the black government that was using the arts, you understand, to pass a message, we understand, has been neglected. We understand, we know so many artists who went to exile. We understand, are fighting for freedom. We have always said there's a big difference between a freedom and democracy. In South Africa, we're fighting for freedom. So you can't have a freedom day, you understand, while there is no freedom. You understand that in democracy, it's a compromise. So I'm one of those people that fully support it, but you can't be celebrating in or Engekon. For us to be here, staying here, the office in the National Arts Council, it shows the artists who are free.
It's a long time coming that we have to be heard because we are tired of only being heard. So as Satana Kango kusebenza and slapha asindawo until sifumana ke impendulo zethu. In the meantime, mabahambe. Uthini mama? My cupping. My dancing. Hey ta! Hey ta! Ta ta! Hey ta! Ta ta! Ta ta! Hey na team te! Ta! Hele we! Ta ta! Where's the posto? Ta! Hele we! Ta ta! Nankama pa! Ta! Hele ye! Ta ta! Nankama pa! Ta! Hele ye! Ta ta! Hey ta! Ta ta! Ta ta! Hey ta! Ta ta! Ta ta! Where's the team te? Ta! Hele we! Ta ta! Where's the posto? Ta! Showa, where's the posture? Etima, when not team tech, PESP, when not team tech, to looking back. When not team tech, hello, wait, Hale 40, yes, Hankama part, a chonchi, Hankama part. Ajonji, Namunati, Ujonji, Namusipo, Ujonji, Eta, come artist, he's with come artist, he's with
Artists fought hard. Artists were exiled. Artists were imprisoned. Artists were killed. So why not look after artists when you are now in power? Or is it a deliberate exercise to disempower artists because somebody understands how much power they actually carry? I think it's deliberate. Why I think it's deliberate is because we wouldn't be sitting here for 49 days if it wasn't, because somebody would be concerned. somebody would say, okay, something has gone wrong. But when people literally ignore you and pretend as if nothing is going off, then they are hoping that the problem will go away and they wouldn't need to find a solution to it, because it's a deliberate action to never ever empower artists, rather send condolences every time they die and go and make a beautiful speech that means absolutely nothing. That if you had to ask anybody who attended that funeral what was the speech, and nobody would remember. What I think needs to be done is that the president needs to hear the artists. The artists have been saying for years now, we don't need a political deployee in the position of a minister, because you need someone with a vision. Without a vision, you cannot rescue this situation. You have to first of all see what it would look like if it didn't look like this. And then you would have to understand what would make it look like that. What steps are required to get us there. And if you're sitting with someone who's just concerned about keeping their political position and taking their salary that goes with the political position, then you're not talking about someone who cares about what the arts can do. They talk about social cohesion. There will never be any social cohesion without the arts. You need the arts to speak differently to the language that we all know, the language of economy, the language of industry, the language of anything, you name it. There's a different voice you need to hear that speaks to the conscience, and that is what will drive social cohesion. And that's why we're still struggling with racism today, 27 years down the line.